Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name's Ryan, and I get stuff at yard sales, thrift stores, garage sales, and similar places. Try to flip and make a few extra bucks online. Some good news to report. I haven't broadcast the last few days. I've had like maybe a sale a day. Not a whole lot that I felt that was worth jumping on and recording something about. But had 5 sales yesterday, and I'm going to go over something, sort of a local sale that happened as well. So we will jump on that. Plus a return issue that I can fix fairly easily. Actually, it's not a return; it's an exchange, and we'll handle that as well. So let's jump into it. If you remember, last couple weeks, I've been pulling my local thrift store, my local Goodwill. Somebody donated a bunch of 1970s, mostly 70s, early 80s fantasy sci-fi older paperbacks. I've been loading up. I've about completed my Conan collection, and I've been grabbing them, and I've tried a few Facebook sales and had a little success there. Because that's a little more. It's if you can pull it off, it's a little bit easier. So I sold a few things there, but I just started dumping everything on eBay, and some of the stuff is paying off within a few days. So start off probably the lowest one right now. The Jaws log. The Jaws novels are actually worth grabbing if you get them for about $1 a piece or less. But this is like has something to do with the movie or something like that. $7, so profit there. And that's the lowest one today. So that is fun little sale there. Next up is what's next? Let's kind of go over those 4, 12, and those 2 or 13. Okay, so it doesn't matter. All right, these two. Two Sharon Green Yellow Spine Daw paperbacks. Daw made a few hundred. These are number 500. So, Daw through the late 70s, early 80s. Daw's a fantasy publisher. Published a ton of yellow spined fantasy and science fiction paperbacks. A lot of them from famous authors. Not all of them though, but they went. It was like a month. I don't know if it was a monthly subscription or what, but they published a bunch of them. So there's a handful of collectors out there after they're trying to fill their numbers, and I think it would be a pretty cool collection actually to see them all on a bookshelf. But anyway, here's 2 of them by Sharon Green, sort of I want to say these are kind of Sword and Planet type of stuff. So both of these, $13. So, color 13. And then next up is a batch of Michael Moorcock paperbacks. These, let me get this right. Oh yeah, the Sharon Green books were 13. These are 12 for these 4 books. And actually, I'd had this one for a while. I had snagged it and read it some. Michael Moorcock, he didn't resonate with me. Not sure why. I tried the Elric and Melon and Bone series. They're well written. They're fine. He's a good writer. He just doesn't, I guess, ring the right bells with me in his printing. So, but Michael Moorcock is an author worth lining up if you get 3 or 4 and get them for $1 a piece. He is a science fiction fantasy author who's worth grabbing, and some of his books are worth a chunk of money. I've got them put up, but his Elric of Melnibone series, there are several printings. I've got some that are $20 per book for small paperbacks done in the 80s. So I think I'll get between 15 and 20 for each of them. That seems to be around where they're selling in some instances. So worth doing that. Finally, this is a $19 sale for Diane Gabaldon. She writes, is this The Witcher? Oh, no. I'm not sure what she does. Outlander. This is the Outlander series. And it, hold on a second. I got a message. Okay, never mind. That was something else. Outlander series. These go, like here you said, this is $5 for $4 to $5 a book in lots. Now they're big, and which means you probably need at least 3 of them and you gotta get them cheap enough to really kind of be in the profit. So, I think I'll still make money with this because I got them at $1 a piece. They were paperback even at that size. So, those are those sales. Finally, eBay, the fun one, the one you've all been waiting for. Boom, Uncle Jesse, $30. This is a Dukes of Hazzard, late 70s. I don't know if it's 81, 82, but action figure. The non-Bo Duke figures sell decently. Fun story behind the Bo Duke figures. And if you go online, I think the guy's still selling them. And I think he's been doing it for 10 years. But I want to say late 90s, early 2000s. Gather around. Late 90s, early 2000s. Kind of when eBay started taking off. There was a warehouse. This was one of those unopened warehouse finds. And this is my understanding of the story, and it's been a while since I don't know if it's out there anymore. But there was a warehouse, like a Kenner warehouse. Now these were, I think, Mego figures or something like that. But I think this was like a Kenner warehouse or something of that sort. Ohio, Indiana, somewhere around there. And they opened up and auctioned off the contents. Among those contents were hundreds, maybe thousands, of Bo Duke Mego action figures, unpackaged, mint condition. And somebody bought like the entire batch of them and has been selling them almost ever since. They're in good condition. I bought some. I had like 100 of them at one point and was able to resell a handful of them and make a little bit of money. But he had tons of them. And they've been distributed out and around ever since. So, is that something on my beard? No, that's just a cool beard. So that is kind of the story behind those. I almost wonder if it's still out there in the web. It was one of those things that was posted on a couple of message boards, so it may have gotten lost in the internet ether. But anyway, Dukes of Hazzard figures. Grab them. This one's $30. There's actually a Tonka version of this that sells for about the same, if not more. It's a black bearded Uncle Jesse figure that Tonka got. It's the same. The rest of the color scheme is the same, and so it's sort of one of those odd figures that out there people are trying to find that they're willing to pay money for. But Tonka got this mold. If you notice, this isn't. This is actually sort of that Tonka type mold. If you know what I'm talking about, it's not a whole lot of points of articulation. It's not like a G.I. Joe figure with the elbows and the knees that bend. So this Uncle Jesse figure, I think, is actually based more off of some of the Tonka ore. It's not quite as chunky as the Adventure People figures, but That's a fun find. I actually, I've already sold it and shipped it out. But if you saw a few days ago, I found there's one other figure that was a Love Boat figure that I sold for $22 and got it shipped. So that was a fun little find. Finally, yesterday, if you notice, one less at ATST and Optimus isn't there anymore. Sold those. Plus a couple other things to local Facebook group guy for cash money. $70 for Optimus, the trailer, my broken Optimus, an AT-ST, the G.I. Joe ferret shell I had, and Transformers Blitzwing. And I think a couple other little pieces. So, sold those and it was great. It was cash money. And cash money is really good. And I will take, depending on how long I've sat on something, I will take sometimes half of what I will sell something on eBay for if I can get cash for it. And I'm making a profit. It almost comes out about the same after all the fees and aggravation and stuff like that. Sometimes it may be, sometimes there's a reason they say cash is king. Because it's cash money. And somebody doesn't have to be, and you can just put it in your pocket. Say bye. It's great. So, let's see, finds. Oh, fun finds. Some stuff that I'm going to lot up, and some stuff to go behind me. Daniel Sherman Starfist. This was like a quarter, so I grabbed it because I've got like 3 or 4 more, and I need to lot them back up and put them on eBay. And some action figures I've got. I need to make a big line. I need to double check these, but I don't. Shinsuke Nakamura, and I don't know if you can see this one really well. John Cena, but I need to make sure these aren't like some rare figures or something like that. But I've got a Roman Reigns figure. You can put these together and probably lot those up and put them in there. This one, Batman from The Dark Knight Returns. I need to look him up, see what the value is, but he's going to sit behind me while he's waiting to be sold. Because that figure's kind of cool from a very interesting comic story. Right. No! Get back up there, Doc Paul. There. Then, let's see what else we got. Ooh. Megatron to go with my Optimus back here. And a couple I need to look up. This one was interesting. This looks a little more modern, but it reminds me of something that used to be, that was old, and I'm not sure what, but this two-headed figure guy right here. Got some. These will probably go in like a flea market sale lot. I'll look them up, but they probably aren't worth as much. Oh. She may be G.I. Joe. Anyway. These are core figures from the Leonard, the core series. They decided to go a little more detail on them, and that's pretty cool. On their figures. So, she says core. No, okay, they're all. This one's a core too. So, they decided to get a little more detail on their figures in the last few years. So, a handful of those. I'll look them up, but I suspect they're not worth. They're worth, maybe $1 a piece at the yard at the flea market. And this guy will go in my sort of Transformers fodder box, if I still have it. Where did I sell that? I'll have to find. I'll drag it. It may be in my garage. This Starscream parts. I actually sold a parts lot of Starscream a few years ago. Not a few years ago, like last year sometime. A bunch of different Starscreams. And some weird new agey book. Hey, there's a guy online who may buy this from me. I need to get in touch with him because he buys stuff like this. This Hong Kong Fooey. From there is a not unsubstantial group of collectors who get sort of old cartoon related books like this. Now, this is probably like a $3 book. I will look it up. I didn't even bother when I was at the store because I knew to grab it anyway. I suspect it may be worth a little bit more, but minimum, this is like I get 4 or 5 of these in related type books, and I can move these for $3 or $4 a pop. I need a lot. I need to find all the ones I've got. This Babysitters Club trade paperbacks. These consistently go $3 or so a piece in lots on eBay, and I think I've got enough to put to lot up for it's reasonable. I think I got 4 or 5 now. And a Hellsing manga. So manga prices, because of the popularity, they've come down, but it's still hard for me to not grab them. I got a buddy of mine who likes these. If I see it's not worth as much, I may. Yeah, Justin, you. Let me know if you need a Hellsing. So, and I think I've got something else I need to get to you too. So, anyway, that today. That's today. I got stuff to do. So, and that's cool because it's good to have stuff to do for eBay. So I get this stuff. Oh. Let's bone back again. One more thing. I messed up. I sent somebody the wrong hymnal. He was supposed to get this one. I sent him the wrong one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to package this up. I'm going to get a poly mailer, put it in here with this one, and send that to the guy and give him the money to ship the other one back and give him the one he wanted. So. And fix my mistake. Because it's easy to fix. I can do that. So, that's that plan. So, there you go. I hope y'all have a good one out there. Get some stuff sold. Find some stuff. Don't be afraid to look stuff up. And see if you can come across something that might be worth something. I know I'm going to. There's a button. I wonder if it lights up. Or used to light up. Maybe he did. So, y'all be good out there.